pretty much carved campaign messages on walls. Like, hey, vote for
Nixon's the one is what they wrote.
Nixon is good. Nixon shat 3 times on this wall. Vote for him. Hello. Welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm Hannah Hillam, and that's your host.
And I'm Kaveh Taherian, and yes, the answer is I'm sick.
Kaveh is suffering from what we call COVID-19, although he did get a negative test.
I did get a negative test this morning for the first time in like 7 days. Is it 19? It's still 19, right? I don't know how the numbers work.
It's always going to be. Anyway, I can't do the NPR voice anymore. It makes me sick inside. It makes me want to fall asleep.
Yes, much like me, who is actually sick inside. No longer contagious, I guess, but still recovering. Yes.
You've gotten, man, I'm sorry you had COVID.
I am too, but thank you for your sympathies. As such, we decided that, at first we were like, should we not record this week? That's probably the mentally healthy thing to do.
Yeah, but we're not mentally healthy.
But we're not mentally healthy. Also, I was like, I don't want to fall behind because it'll change the schedule a couple weeks in advance. But as a token, I've decided that I'm going to come and record this, unfiltered. I'm like one of those, I guess, was there like a campaign at some point where the actresses and stuff were like, I'm not going to wear my makeup and show who I am. Yeah, but they still
just a little bit of eyeliner. It's like, look how natural I am.
They're brave and they're heroic. That's me. I'm like, I didn't clean myself up. I showered, thankfully, after the past 4 days, but I didn't trim my beard. I didn't clean it up. I'm a hero today, all right, is all I'm saying.
I'm just going to say hashtag so brave.
Hashtag so brave. I'm here.
The beauty standards for men like you are so high.
Unrealistic. Those magazine covers that we see, because we still look at magazines. Yeah.
With the perfectly manicured beard.
Listen, beard game is like a thing, though. Let's be real. Yeah. Let's be honest. Beard game's definitely like it's a weirdly like bitchy competitive thing that men do amongst each other.
I've noticed. It's because you got nothing else.
It's like, that's all we have. Yeah. That's all we have.
That and tie designs. It's like, which cool
tie
designs
do you have? Or pocket squares or scarves. These kinds of cufflinks.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know, again, I always think of pop star where he's like, oh, don't say I'm a hero. I'm a hero. Don't call me a hero.
Wait.
If people want to call me.
I don't remember, but I love that song. I could watch that again.
Hero. Yeah, maybe we should just do that right now. Anyway, we're gonna do some. I'm gonna do a shorter tab than I normally would today because, as you said before we started recording, I have brain worms, which made it very hard for me to focus. But I managed to pull together a script.
Whatever COVID did to you, I mean, it's funny.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm like, you know what? If nothing else, people will get a kick out of it.
You've sent me some of the funniest texts.
I don't even remember.
One of them. Oh no, mostly just stuff. You're like, am I hallucinating? You're like, hey, you didn't correct this thing on this document, and I was like, I absolutely did.
You fully did.
Never mind.
Never mind. I fully hallucinated. Italics.
It's made me laugh a lot. Anyway.
Yeah.
Not that I'm happy you're feeling better or whatever.
No, you don't have to explain. I get it. I would also be laughing and think it's funny. That's our relationship.
All right. It is. And you know what? It's good that we have this beginning part because we can put it on the Patreon. All right. I was going to say it's fine if we talk a bunch at the beginning.
Exactly. There you go. But anyway, is there anything you wanted to go? Okay. Yeah. Let's go into it then. I'm going to go first this week with the intention of hopefully not dying by the end of this episode. So I got to use my energy up front.
Oh, good. What do you got?
My tab begins with an article that is titled "The Target Husk in Hollywood opens at last, 12 years after work began."
What? Oh, okay. Is this about a Target?
It's about a Target, which is why I'm wearing a red t-shirt. You were asking me. But this is not a Target shirt. Just in case.
Oh, okay.
Just in case you were wondering, or just because you were asking, it says Ollie for president. My friend Chuck got me this shirt. Chuck, who I mentioned before, is demented and has a twisted sense of humor. Apparently, Ollie North, who was the fall guy for the Iran-Contra affair, at some point had an exploratory thing for running for president.
Did he really?
I didn't know about this until this showed up at my doorstep that Chuck got me as a gift.
That's amazing. Don't you love when you have such specific interests and like Venn diagram, like that friends know exactly what to get you.
Yeah. So Chuck got me this as a gift. It's nice. I also, before we get into it, he also got me this, which is
is that?
This is an autographed photograph of Fawn Hill, who was Oliver North's assistant, who was, I don't know if she was indicted or arrested for shredding documents.
That's right. This is so specific. This is so like outrageously specific.
Yeah, so shout out to Chuck for all the excellent gifts, who are now showing up in my Target tab for some reason, only because it's red. But
well,
I just thought
you know, funny. If this fails, we can always work at Target.
If it's ever built.
It's not. You know, we just talk to nobody. Anyway, so tell me about this Target.
So if you've lived in Los Angeles for the past decade or so, you know exactly which Target I'm talking about. Because what felt like for decades on the corner of Sunset and Western, there was a half-built Husk, as it came to be known, of a Target.
People called it the Husk?
The Target Husk.
That is so post-capitalist, hellscape. I love that. I'll meet you at the Target Husk to do a raid.
Target Husk. Its development was stalled mid-construction, and for the longest time, nobody had any idea what the shit was going on. It was this question that no one could answer, like the meaning of life. However, it was more important and mysterious.
Well, wait, what year did it stop construction? Was it because I know in the recession, everybody just stopped building.
Oh, I'm going to tell you the entire story.
I shouldn't ask any questions.
Inception. Yes. No, I'm glad you asked, though. Speaking of the recession, the story begins in the year 2008.
Yeah.
When a young senator from Chicago named Barack Obama gave us a dream of hope and got elected the first black president of these United States. But perhaps more historic, 2008 was also the year that I moved to Los Angeles from Oakland.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
Equally important, but debatable.
So wait, you went into the job market right at the recession?
I have great timing, as you know.
Oh, I remember being in college and being like, I am so glad I'm still in college. I can't. There's no way I would survive out there. Anyway, go on.
Listen, this was a seemingly small but fateful decision that would change the entire outcome of humanity.
You moving to LA, definitely.
Correct. And then slightly below that was Obama. Anyway, the LA City Council, which at that time included Councilman Eric Garcetti, he'll come back later, received plans for a rundown strip mall on the corner of Sunset and Western to be demolished and rebuilt as an 80-foot tall Target beginning in June of 2010. Now, it's a Target, right?
Yeah.
So you think that literally everyone is probably foaming at the mouth for this, not to mention there wasn't really one in Hollywood at the time. There was one at the West Hollywood Gateway, which was within walking distance of where I was living at the time. But shockingly, problems began almost immediately as soon as this was approved.
I love this.
Within weeks of the council's approval, 2 lawsuits were filed, both complaints making similar accusations that the structure was too tall, and the proposal failed to comply with the California Environmental Quality Act. Now, Target had been given permission, I should say the Target Corporation, had been given permission by City Hall to bypass environmental review. But perhaps wisely, not wanting to piss everyone off in the neighborhood that they intended to serve, they decided to do their due diligence anyway. So they pledged, nice. They pledged to commission an environmental impact report and make any needed adjustments in order to move forward. This added an additional 18 months to the development period.
Okay.
Which had already been, a year and a half. Getting the updated plans approved in 2012. This is 4 years from the time the initial proposal had come out. 2012, the second time that Barack Obama was elected the first black president. But
and did nothing. He did nothing to get this Target built.
His silence is deafening.
Maybe he should have spent less money on bombing civilians and more money on getting this one Target built. Change and hope or whatever. Hope and change.
Perhaps more historic. 2012. That was the year that I graduated with a Master's of Fine Arts from the University of Southern California's prestigious School of Cinematic Arts, where my diploma was ceremoniously handed to me by the commencement speaker, future accused pedophile and child sex ring enthusiast, Bryan Singer. That's true.
No way. Are you serious?
Yep. The right-wingers will have a field day if they ever find a picture of me shaking hands or getting a diploma for him. I had no say in this, and at that time... I will have
a field day.
Yeah.
If I find that photo. That's wild.
It is.
Yeah.
He had given a bunch of money to the school, and I'm not sure entirely. I'm not familiar with all of the sexual accusations of Bryan Singer.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. I don't remember at the time if that had not come out publicly, like to the extent that it did. But
it was like talked about within the industry. But
that's what I'm saying. I think it might have been like whispers, but like the official ones came out after that. So if you ever see a picture of me shaking hands with Bryan Singer, I'm not part of any child sex ring.
No,
I'm merely getting a diploma from a man who at that time was a very famous alumni who came back to give a commencement speech and donated a bunch of money. Was probably trying to whitewash his reputation.
Yeah, definitely. You got to donate as much money as you can to hide all the
Anyway, eat shit, Bryan Singer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
go die. No one cares. All right.
That same year, Target finally broke ground.
Oh my gosh.
2012. Yeah.
They hadn't even started. It was just like a strip mall.
4 years after they had started the proposal.
I keep thinking that it is 2024. What is going to happen?
This year is 2024, but at the time that this happens,
that was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Target finally breaks ground, and the blueprints called for a 74-foot tall structure.
That's so
which
tall.
Is slightly shorter than what they had initially proposed, but still more than double the 35-foot limit set for commercial developments in that area. This thing is like an Ayn Randian, insane, gigantic building.
Monument to...
This is the fountainhead
the free market.
Yeah. All the tech bros are like, oh, did you say Ayn Rand, the fountainhead? This is great. This is about individualism as we try and build a target in the free market as blah, blah, blah. That's what people try to take us down.
Let's go circle jerk at the Target.
Yeah, cool. Objectivism.
You know what? Who else can eat shit is Ayn Rand. All right?
Yeah, objectivism in general. Anyway.
Go on.
So
I'm feeling
double
angry.
the size. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, good.
Double the size of what the normal commercial developments in the area were. Nevertheless, Target persisted.
Hashtag RGB.
RGB. I believe that's her. That was actually Elizabeth Warren, I believe, was the one who nevertheless persisted.
Look, a white lady said it. That's all that matters.
Okay. Shh. Allegedly. She's maybe part not white. Allegedly.
Forgot.
Man, this is a political episode. Look, I don't know how this happened. We're having hot takes.
I came in hot, all right?
I did too. Thankfully not with the temperature because my fever has subsided by now. But by the summer of 2014, a foundation was poured. Boba legs had been placed, and there were rib cages and sternums being driven to help create a new fleshy Target building.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Beautiful.
And as they used to say on Behind the Music, everything seemed to be falling into place. Until everything, of course, went to shit yet again.
Yeah. Why am I excited?
Why not?
I don't know. I just want to watch it fail. Go on.
Yeah. So the La Mirada Avenue Neighborhood Association and Citizens Coalition Los Angeles filed another lawsuit arguing that the LA City Council should not have approved the plan. Superior Court Judge Richard L. Fruin Jr., he agreed. So Target had to halt all construction activities, and the court ordered the council to invalidate the permits that had already been issued.
Wow.
They just command Z'd all that shit. They're like, just kidding. I know this is 6 years, 4 years, 6 years later, but eat shit. You remember those permits we gave you? No,
they don't count.
Let me send you a picture of what this Target looked like by this point.
And is this like in a pretty popular area where people like drive by and see this Husk all the time?
Yeah, so it's on the corner. It's off of Sunset and Western.
That means literally nothing to me.
It's like down the street from, like Netflix is on the other side of the 101 from here. The Man's Chinese Theater is a little bit of ways away.
Okay.
But Sunset. So it's
wow.
like the Hollywood, where like the Hollywood that you would hear about is on the west side of the freeway. On the east side of the freeway is like proper Hollywood, where like people actually like live and do stuff. And there's a Target over there, and
LA is a big mix of tiny visuals for me. It's like, oh, the place that has this, and it's all in one spot in my head.
Have you been to Thai Town, like the Thai Air District of Los Angeles? That's just north of this.
Oh, cool. I want to go to Thai Town.
Thai Town's cool. There's some good places there. I believe Little Armenia is just east of this as well, but which is not to be confused with Glendale. Is what people typically think of as being like the Armenian area of Los Angeles, but technically I believe Little Armenia is in Hollywood. I think maybe because that's maybe where the first congregation of Armenian immigrants were at the time.
So this is a crazy looking building.
Yeah, so this is the construction site that became the Husk.
Wow. Look at that big facade. That is hideous.
Yeah, it looks like a stage almost.
Yeah. It doesn't look good. Like, what a waste.
Here's what the proposed Target was supposed to look like. This is like a CG rendering of what they wanted it to be.
Oh, futuristic. That is so big.
Yeah. It was massive. It's
looks like
huge.
A spaceship. Can I tell you something? Here's Please. Why I'm so angry is because one of my biggest pet peeves is new architecture.
Yeah.
So like I grew up in a family. My dad's a historic preservationist, so he like restores old 100-year-old houses. And I grew up driving around town. Anywhere we went, he'd be like, "Oh, why'd they add that? Oh, that porch looks really out of place." It either poisoned me or made me a better person, but I think it poisoned me because I look at literally every new build and I'm like, "Here's what I hate about it. Why would they do that?" Sean is like, "Stop." I mean,
you've been infected by education. I understand.
It's horrible. And so I look at everything. I'm like, oh, shiplap? How basic. How piece of, oh, look at that. It looks so stupid. They're trying to be all futuristic, but really just a bunch of cheap capitalist garbage. Anyway, so you really tapped into a part of me that never has a chance to come out. I
didn't know this. I didn't know how much anger you had about it. I'm glad.
It ruins everybody's lives if they're in the car with me.
I completely understand. My little cousins have told me this, that I've done this now for them with movies, because after going to film school, now I like watch movies. Yeah, and I'm like, this is 20 minutes long. You didn't need this, and this. You could have cut this subplot. You could have changed this way. This, it's like not the Matrix, but it's like you see everything in X-ray, and you're just like, this is incorrect. This is lazy. That's a bad idea. You should have done this. Yep.
Children's book. I was not prepared for how much I would hate children's books. I was like, what?
Just based on your experience as an artist. Yeah.
It's like, why would you put that in there?
Maybe people should give us a bunch of money and then we can make children's books that other people can be angry about.
I have been
design
told
targets
to my face that I should never make a children's book.
Was it by your children?
No. It was by my teachers, but they told me a lot of things.
Yeah, they said a lot. I had a lot of bad teachers growing up too who told me terrible things that were not helpful.
Anyway, sorry for the deviation, but I hate this Target.
How dare you deviate within the 500 Open Tabs podcast?
I hate quick, ugly architecture. Next time I'm in LA, I won't hold back. If we drive around, I won't shut up. There you go. Good. Just for you. Go.
Anyway, so some anti-Target groups wanted this whole thing demolished. They were just like, they're going to have to redo the permits anyway. Might as well take this whole thing down. But Target was allowed to keep it up as they filed appeals and all that. So it would remain untouched until 2016.
What?
The year...
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. The year that Donald J. Trump got elected the worst president.
Yeah.
But perhaps more historic.
Oh, here we go.
This was also the year that I decided to stop working as an assistant director and that I needed to take a chance on myself.
Really?
Cue inspirational music. Yeah, 2016 was the year I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
That's the graduation music. I don't know why. That's when you started just being like, I'm not doing this because I'm gonna lose my mind. So
I'm literally gonna have a heart attack at the age of 55. And it is around this time that the Husk starts to become a joke amongst Angelenos. And it becomes such a popular topic of discussion that it even spawned a parody Twitter account called @TargetHusk that pretended to be the voice of the unfinished building and shared memes such as these.
I missed old Twitter. Twitter pre-2016 was just chef's kiss. Let's see.
So it was retweeting memes or like posts that people said. This one's like showing my family all the sites, and it's a picture of a person with their entire family as if they went to a tourist site.
Husk?
Yeah. There's this one.
Oh, that's so good.
Which we read the caption. This one's really fun.
Celebrating yet another Halloween with zombie target and a sidekick, Phantom Sidewalk. What an ugly building.
This one's my personal favorite.
Me begging for attention, and it's the target, and then it's the people from Bird Box. Is it Bird Box?
Yeah, Bird Box, the Sandra Bullock movie where they have to
they blindfold.
They blindfold them. Yeah,
the city for the 4 years, just walking away from it, walking past it. Wow. Okay, I can't wait to ask my other LA friends, aka my aunt.
They will all know if they're in that. Everybody will know the target. It was a total local meme. But so that account sadly never joined the ranks of Americana at Brand or Los Feliz Daycare, but it did make an impression.
I love Los Feliz Daycare.
Los Feliz Daycare is hysterical.
So good.
Americana at Brand is like an institution now. I
don't think I follow them.
That one might be too niche for anybody outside of LA, but like it's like when I think of LA, I think of like the Hollywood sign, and I think of the Americana at Brand. Like that is LA. Anyway.
Awesome.
Point of pride. While everybody was busy making fun of everything, the legal battles continued. Rather than demand Target radically change the store to fit the zoning rules, the city council and now Mayor Garcetti came up with a different plan. They were like sitting around and they were like, what if we just changed the zoning rules to fit the store? Great idea.
The laws got involved?
Laws got involved. Bending the laws to benefit the store, which, as you can imagine, was great for Garcetti's overly friendly with big business reputation.
Wow.
Shockingly, in a 13-0 vote, the council revised the planning and zoning rules that govern the Sunset Boulevard site, ensuring that Target's 74-foot-tall retail center would be permitted on the property, and they got straight back to building it, right?
No. Yes? Of course not.
As our friend Dave Gahan of Depeche Mode once sang, wrong.
Nice cut. Nice.
Thank you. In 2017, Judge Fruin issued another ruling setting the project back once again. The court found that the council, quote, failed to properly examine the environmental impact on the larger neighborhood, end quote, which might be created by having a supersized Target in the area.
That blocks out the sun, I feel like.
Yeah, literally, yes.
I grew up at the foot of a mountain, and literally half the day, it's just shade. You're just in shade. Yeah. I keep picturing the houses nearby that Sorry, let me say it again. I grew up at the foot of a mountain, and during... By the way, my sister-in-law, who's a linguist, said, actually, most Americans say mountain, but Utahns say mountain. So
mountain.
It's the addition of the... Anyway, so if I can just imagine the houses behind this Target, just like not seeing the sunlight for 4 hours in the morning.
I used to have a view of the Griffith Park Observatory, and now it's screwed.
Oh, beautiful. Now I have to look at this big ugly thing.
Yeah, big ugly Targets. So basically, they had to go back and do the same shit over and over again. So basically, the whole process began again. They had to do like another environmental report.
This is when arson comes in handy.
Yes. Wow.
Sorry. Look, I told you I came in hot. I'm mad at everything.
That's true. Maybe it's from all the arson. That's why you're so sweaty. Stop lighting things on fire, Hannah. Maybe you will stop being sweating.
You know that's
being
not
sweating.
True.
I don't know. COVID has ruined my brain.
Being
you
sweating.
Know what I mean.
Yeah.
Being sweating. So basically, it's all dumb and everyone hated Garcetti and blah, blah, blah. And this shit goes on for another 2 years.
So what year is it now? 2018?
2017. So 2017 is when this begins. And then so they go through all the process again. So all the while, this crusty ass post-apocalyptic looking construction site's just sitting there and it's an eyesore and people are making fun of it and getting angry. And for some people, it's a personification of their careers being stuck in a never-ending state of purgatory that they left the Bay Area to pursue success in show business, only to be cock-blocked time and time again by people who are far less talented than they were, willing to play the game, as if that's the reason they came to this town in the first place. And if they wanted to play mind games, they would have just chosen to move back in with their mothers because at least that's a game they're familiar with.
I've never felt that.
But I digress.
That was... But look at you now.
Look at me now.
COVID brain. That was
in 2019. Beautiful. Thank you. I practiced that.
You did. It was beautiful. That was also, I felt it. I felt that. I really felt it.
In 2019, the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety finally granted permits to resume work on the site. And in March of 2019, and by June, construction was underway once again.
Insane.
The Target Husk finally shed its work-in-progress skin and opened on Sunday, October 25th, 2020, the same year
during the pandemic
that Joe Biden became this country's first oldest president. But perhaps...
became this country's second Catholic president. There it is.
Second Catholic president and the oldest president, but perhaps more historic. 2020 was also the year that I officially joined the podcasting game with my friend Lindsay Ellis with my previous show, Musical Splaining, which inevitably led to this very program you are listening to right now, 500 Open Tabs.
Whoa. No, I would argue that what led to this right now is you leaving the Bay Area. Oh, sorry. Leaving the film industry.
Leaving the film industry, yes. Anyway, that is the conclusion.
Obama.
Thanks, Obama, of the Twitter story. I can show you a picture of the completed Target.
Oh, let's see this.
It looks, I don't even know what to tell you about it.
It looks the same, except shinier.
Yeah, basically.
Is it gigantic inside? Can we go there?
We can go there whenever you're in Los Angeles. We'll go.
I'll have a mental breakdown. Yeah.
You'll have a mental breakdown. We'll go. Maybe we'll live stream us being inside the Target. So
fluorescent lights turned me into a monster. So that'll be great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's it. So funny enough, I moved away. I used to live in Hollywood proper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
By the time it was open, now I'm in North Hollywood. So I haven't gone to that Target. Funny enough.
Gotta go.
I've never been inside. Maybe, we'll go. We'll go when you come. We'll take pictures. We'll make it a field trip.
It's good because I'll be there when this episode comes out, I think.
Nope.
Yeah. A few days before.
Maybe. I don't know.
Still.
Who knows? Time is a flat circle.
Time is a target.
Time is a target.
I keep remembering when us and Stephen Ray Morris were talking about that target that killed people.
The fake buildings episode? Yes.
This is the one.
This is the one that kills everybody.
Yeah, you go in and it just eviscerates you. Okay, what a beautiful story of the ineptitudes of the law, and money. And this is
and corruption.
Yeah, I can't go on a political rant. I can't, but I'll save it. But yeah, this is hilarious.
In many ways, the city of Los Angeles is a character itself in this story.
It is. And
as
so
was me in my life. Yeah. I made it about myself. I
want to know more about you.
What would you like to know? I don't work at Target. I have not been to this Target.
You sleeper cell for Target?
Sleeper cell for Target. I work here.
Trying to convert me to Target? I can't be in there for too long or I'll lose my mind.
It's designed to be that way.
I know. I hate it. I feel like I'm in a maze.
I'm going to say this. I don't dislike Target. I think it's very well designed. It's incredibly well designed.
Out of the big stores, I guess it's the better one. But it still kind of makes me feel like I've been trapped in a maze and there's a big scientist watching me try to find food.
That's how I feel in Trader Joe's, not in Target.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't go to Trader Joe's anymore. It stresses me out.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know where anything is. It doesn't make the way that you walk through the store confuses me, and it doesn't follow any kind of specific logic that I respond to. So I'm like, I don't go there anymore.
So it's
persona non grata at this point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that story. I want to go to this Target, and I'm also really mad at this building. I really hate it.
I know you would. That's why I wanted to do this one, because to make you angry about this one. But Target Husk. if you know, you know.
I love that it was called Target Husk. Not even
is it Husk? Sorry, I might have said it backwards.
Husk. I just love the word husk used in any scenario. Yeah. I know you always say I shouldn't apologize, but I'm sorry. I came in real hot. Mad at a lot of things. It is the arson. I need to stop burning things down.
Listen, there's a lot to be angry about. Let's be real here. Let's not pretend like there's not. This Target being one of them. In fact, being probably the most important thing to be angry about right now.
Yeah, but I did like how it fit in exactly with the timeline of your life.
Exactly. Or I, had to go through and remember. Funny, I did more research on my own life to try and remember what happened in what years than I did on this actual Target being built.
Oh, this is good. This is going to be good for the Cave lore.
The lore. It's not lore. It's the Cave life.
I know, but it's lore for people listening.
That's true. I'm not real. Anyway, that's my tab. What do you got for us?
I'm going to start with a story. When I was little, we lived with my grandparents, and they had this gigantic, heavy wooden desk that they would have right in front of their big window. It was really cool. You could sit at it. It was like a slanted drawing desk, because a lot of my family are artists. And so they put it in front of this big window, and us kids would just get up there and color and draw and whatever and watch the neighborhood. And one thing about this desk is that people had been carving their names into it since like the 70s.
Okay.
And my aunts, their friends, you can look through all these. I found one just recently. I went back. It's in my parents' basement now. And I found my name from like the mid 90s. And
cool.
yeah, so that was like one of the fun things about it is everyone got to carve the desk up.
Before you changed your name legally to join the entertainment world.
Yep.
Okay, you don't have a joke for that.
I don't understand.
A lot of people, change their names when they join the entertainment industry.
Oh, that's right.
I just derailed you. Sorry. Continue.
I don't care. I don't. Sorry. I don't care. I'm a professional radio person. All right. Anyway, so all of us kids would just carve into it. Like one time on one of those, 9/11. You're familiar with 9/11.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, yes. It was a date. Anyway, there's a big old carving on that desk that I did on 9/11 while watching the news.
Of the two towers?
No, I wrote 9/11 World Trade Center attack with a knife, and I was like 14 and being like, this needs to be kept. This needs to be written down.
Like as a diary entry of some sort?
I don't know, but that's what I want to get into. Something in me decided that this needed to be put down permanently.
Okay.
When I was back at my parents' house just a week ago, I was looking at this desk and I found the 9/11 carving, and I was like, why did I do that? Why does anyone do any of it? And so then I started thinking, what do people used to carve into things? Like, am I the first one to do this? Of course not. Like, humans love carving. And so that got me into this whole long Wikipedia hole of graffiti. And so today I'm going to talk about an article that I didn't put on here, but it is about ancient graffiti. It's about ancient graffiti and the humans' need to leave a mark. And
I have a question. Do cave paintings count as ancient graffiti?
There's a difference. There's ancient graffiti, which is like, paintings, cave paintings, whatever, but there's written graffiti that is very specifically what I'm going to be talking about today. Because
okay, so graffiti is specifically in this case, it's written and it has like a message, like a derogatory message. You're saying
most of the time, yeah, but it's just a message in general. So ancient graffiti, dude, that's
cool. I didn't know. I didn't even think about this being a thing.
Yeah. So when I started, by the way, I was going to say my celebrity that I met at that table was Andre Agassi at my grandma's drawing table.
Wait, sorry. He was, I'm sorry. What?
He was babysitting me. Doesn't matter.
Andre Agassi was?
Yes.
When? On 9/11?
On 9/11. No, I was like 4. My aunt's friend.
My head was about to explode if that was the case. You're like, I
No.
watched the towers fall with Andre Agassi as I carved into this old wooden table.
No, him and his girlfriend babysat me as a kid once, and me and Andre Agassi drew a bunch of pictures of cats on that table. So
where are these? Oh, do you have pictures of these cats?
No,
that cat drawings?
I drew so many cats that my mom, I think, just threw all of them away. Cat People out October 8th.
Buy it now. Pre-order and get a tote bag.
Ugh. Yeah. Didn't mean to scoff. It's actually great.
You're scoffing at your own book. Yes, continue.
Anyway, that was a little thing. So I started reading about ancient graffiti, and the first thing that came to mind was how natural it is. And like the human urge to make our mark on something permanently, I think is one of the deepest like things why we do anything. Like painting on cave walls. It's like, well, I'm going to die. I may as well paint something on this.
I believe the thing that they used to always tell us in art history class was it's controlling of nature. It's the human's instinct to try and control nature.
Interesting.
That was what
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know if I agree with anything, but continue.
That's interesting. I like so many like artistic awakenings in art history class, just watching a bunch of non-artists like pick apart art, and being like, they don't know what it is to make art.
They don't get it. Oh, don't get me started on every art class, every class in art school. I would just get in a fight with everybody.
Same. Be like, maybe they just wanted to put that color up there. I don't think about anything. And they're like, well, what does it
was
mean?
Not popular. I'll just say that.
No. That was the class I got called a communist. Anyway, that's a different story. It was 2008. If you liked Obama in Utah, you were a communist.
Interesting.
There's this human urge to make marks on things, and I think it's all about our fear of death and our fear of not being here anymore.
Leaving your mark. I'm following. Yeah.
Gravestones, epitaphs.
But ancient. How ancient are you talking?
Oh, like 3000 BC.
Oh my God. Are we literally talking about bomb graffiti on the tomb of Nefertiti?
Is that from
that lyric?
I'm the
it's
worst.
a Lauryn Hill song.
I'm the worst. No, I've never heard that song.
Oh, continue.
But yes, actually. So before I get to that, is that we either make a mark because we're afraid of death or because we truly, deeply hate somebody. And we need future generations to know how much this person sucks.
We're really angry at this target for being ugly in the way that it's built.
I'm going to do
and designed.
If anything lasts, if my legacy is anything, it's that condos and targets are ugly. So I looked up what's the oldest graffiti. And here's the thing. It was hard to kind of track. It was hard to figure out what exactly was the oldest graffiti. But one of the oldest was in a tomb in Egypt by an ancient tourist. I forget that Egypt was ancient Egypt had an ancient Egypt. So like in 2000 or around what? Yeah, so there was tourists like 2,000 years ago looking at Egyptian stuff from 2,000 years before. So there was this tourist that came and said, I didn't like anything here except the sarcophagus. So pretty much leaving a review on the wall of this.
Just a YouTube comment on somebody's tomb.
So some like, I don't know, who knows? We're just like, this place sucks. The sarcophagus is cool. So that's one of the very first examples of graffiti that I found.
Okay.
And it made me laugh because I was like, that's so human. Like,
we're
you go
such
somewhere...
pieces of shit for thousands of years. Just pieces of shit.
We're so petty. We have no respect for anything. And I mean, that person probably wasted a bunch of money going to see that and hated it.
I mean, he could have just left like the ancient Yelp review, like of its day.
2 stars.
1 star. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too expensive. Speaking of ancient, I'm referring to Yelp, which nobody uses anymore except for us.
I love Yelp.
I still love it too. I don't care.
Me too. So one of the huge sources we have for ancient graffiti is some of your favorite people, the ancient Romans. But don't worry, it's not just the ancient Romans, it's also the ancient Greeks. So there's that.
Perfect.
Everybody. Yeah, your favorite. Don't worry, I'll get to Persian ones. Theirs are particularly interesting.
Bunch of dicks on everything,
Mostly
I'm sure.
Just real mean.
That I'm so correct. I can already tell you. I don't even know what it is, but I'm like, that sounds absolutely correct.
I'll get into it. Yeah. So graffiti, the word
excited.
Graffiti, actually, here's the thing. Don't get too excited because they don't have much documentation on it. It pissed me off. I spent way too long. Doesn't matter. Graffiti is from the Greek word graphene, which means to write, which is also where we get graphite from. And it was this art history term for scratching a design into a surface. So like they would put a layer of paint and then scratch a design, mostly on like ceramics. And so that's where the word graffiato comes from, and then it turned into graffiti.
Graffiti. Yeah. Graffiti. I don't know. It's
so graffiti. Anyway, so the only one about Persia I could find. Great.
Thank you for looking, though.
Oh, I looked. I wanted more, but it was this dude who had just complained about the government. He was pretty much like, I hate the government. This place sucks. I hate this guy.
This just warms my heart.
Yeah.
We have always been like this for thousands of years.
Like most of these are like sexual exploits. Like Rome is like, I banged this person, but the Persian ones are just like, I hate the king. I hate him. This whole caliphate sucks.
Authority, I will kill you all.
Yes. No, it's 100%. Or they do a bunch of drawings of like lions just mutilating people.
This is awesome. I've never been more proud.
No, you should be. All the Persian graffiti is like bonkers.
Just violent and anti-authoritarian.
It's anti-authoritarian and violent and just dope. Like the line work, excellent. It would make a great cartoon.
Strangely obsessed with kings. I don't understand. That's like the inherent contradiction in our culture.
Love it.
Oh, man. We're worms in our brains. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. I'm sending you with one of this lion this.
Yeah, I want to see the Persian graffiti.
I hate that it just did the little. Anyway, so that's one of this lion like trying to mutilate this dude.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool?
I like how he's just got his pants on. He's just like, hey.
Yeah. It's like, here, eat my leg.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's eating his back. Oh, you know what? He's trying to shave his back hair. That's what's happening. He's trying to direct the ancient tradition. He's trying to navigate the line to his back. He's like, here, bite here so that I can feel my ancient shirt on my back. This is beautiful.
Isn't that cool? I think it would make a really cool tattoo.
I agree. Getting on your back.
Yeah.
Of your back getting shaved by an ancient lion.
Okay, here it is. So among the ancient political graffiti examples was a poem written by Yazid al-Himyari, and he was an Arab and Persian poet. Mm-hmm. And he was most well known for writing his political poetry on the walls in Basra. No, just in the city. Manifesting a strong hatred toward the Umayyad regime and its priests. And people used to read and circulate it widely. So he would like go up like, these people suck, and everyone's like, yeah. So it was mostly just hatred, which I love.
It's tracks.
And unfortunately, here's the thing: Western scholars focus on Western history, sadly. Sure. So we have a lot from Rome and Greece, which makes sense too, because the ones we have from Rome are from Pompeii, meaning that tornado, not a tornado.
Totally a tornado. It was Twister,
what is
actually.
A Twister happened.
It was a hurricane.
It was a volcano.
A volcano eruption, yeah.
The volcano coated that place in ash or whatever, and it preserved everything really well. It didn't have a chance to get overtaken or torn down. So you see all this graffiti, and I'm going to tell you a couple of these things that people wrote on the walls.
All right.
One of them, to the one defecating here, beware of the... Oh, yeah, well, look, the Persians talk about hating the government. The Romans talk about poo and sex.
Okay, listen, that's a plus for them, in my opinion.
Just wait. Some of these I can't even read, like graphic. So it says, to the one defecating here, beware of the curse. If you look down on this curse, you may well have an angry Jupiter for an enemy. So pretty much like storekeeper being like, don't defecate outside my store or you're gonna die.
Or your dog shouldn't shit here. I hate you.
Oh no, it was the Roman it wasn't a dog. Though a lot of these are about. This one was on the walls of Herculaneum, which is a city near Pompeii, and it says, I hope your hemorrhoids rub together so much that they hurt worse than when they ever have before.
Nice.
And it was
I'm gonna start using these as like disses to people.
And then a little further down, there's one that just says, I screwed a lot of girls here.
Nice.
And
I banged a lot of ladies.
Yeah. Of course I can't. So then there was this one they drew this like goofy looking Roman dude with a big nose. And it said, Amplicatus, I know that Icarus is buggering you. Salvius wrote this. That's his name. So he's like, hey, I know that
just
Icarus
talking shit to his friend.
Is banging you. Salvius wrote this. So it's like, hey, I know that you're gay, pretty much.
Oh, you're having an affair.
You're having an affair with a dude. Oh, by the way, this is who wrote it. And he drew a big dumb picture of him with a big
credit
nose.
for it. Interesting. It's like some Real Housewives shit. They're just like, I know that you're like this, and they threw champagne in his face.
And then on the wall of somebody's house, like on the outside of someone's house, Apollinaris, who was a doctor to the emperor, just wrote, Titus shat well here. Oh, sorry. He wrote shat well here. Apollinaris shat well here.
That's amazing.
The emperor was named Titus. Anyway, so I just love the idea of like, exactly. It's like, this was a great place. And then
that's a serious honor.
I know. That is 2,000 years old. That lasted. What a beautiful. I'm going to write that on that target.
Yeah.
After I
Hannahillum shat well here.
Hannahillum shat well here. So then there's a basilica, right?
We need to make those as stickers and just start posting them everywhere we go. Just in places where no person should be shitting, but we'll just put that there.
We should get them. We should hand them out to people to put everywhere.
Just like a window on a bakery or something, and then like an oil change place.
In the basilica, there's also one that says, Epaphra is not good at ball games. So whether
is that
means
another sexual reference?
We don't know. He could have just been like, you suck at sports, or you're bad at
cup game's
handling.
Not strong.
Yeah, you're not good at balls, you know? And also Epaphra is bald. That was another one. Poor Epaphra. Bald and bad at ball games. And yeah, Tanuki. Put him in there.
Man.
This one is one of my favorites. It was another Yelp review, pretty much, on the outside of a bar in Herculaneum, and it said, 2 friends were here. While they were here, they had bad service in every way.
Oh, my God.
From a guy named Epaphroditus. They threw him out and spent 105.5 sestertii, most agreeably, instead on whores. So they had a bad service. They're like, give us our money back. We're going to the brothel.
They're like, listen, this hamburger should not cost $25, and it didn't even come with sides. Eat shit.
I could buy a prostitute with this.
We're going to leave and bang some whores. What does he say in It's Always Sunny?
Banging whores. I can't remember.
Banging whores.
She's my best. What does he say about Roxy? Was it Roxy? His whore wife?
Bang maid? Is that what you're talking about?
The bang maid. And then here's some anti-landlord stuff. Outside the woodworking shop of Potitus. Oh, no, sorry. This is about a bar owner. And Potitus wrote, would that you pay for all your tricks, innkeeper. You sell us water and keep the good wine for yourself. So pretty much saying, you water down the wine, you bastard. Bitch. How dare you?
Yeah. Potitus.
Potitus. There's one that just says, Phileros is a eunuch. This one just says, hey, Cornelius, go hang yourself. Secundus defecated here 3 times on one wall.
Secundus, that's quite the name.
Yeah, he defecated 3 times on the same wall. Which
at the same time or on 3 separate occasions?
I think 3 separate occasions.
Okay.
And then in some gladiator.
Secundus might want to go see like a gastroenterologist.
Yeah. Secundus cannot stop.
Yeah. Thankfully, we know one. He was on the previous episode.
Oh my gosh, let's get him.
Or I guess 2 episodes ago.
Do you think he's available?
To travel back in time to see Secundus? What was his name? Scotus? I forgot.
Secundus. He goes back and just helps this guy with his bowel movements.
You should not be shitting 3 times on a wall.
Instead of being like, watch out for the volcano that's going to kill all of you.
That's not what a GI can do. That's not what he's legally.
That's not what he was trained to do.
Exactly. He's not legally allowed to give information about other things. Continue.
So sometimes there's like declarations of love, like so-and-so loves so-and-so. Those go back all the way. It's either hatred or love. Also, a lot of popular social and political ideas were scrawled on the walls, which were pretty cool because they'd also have like campaign posters. They pretty much carved campaign messages on walls. So, like, hey, vote for
Nixon's the one is what they wrote.
Nixon is good. Nixon shat 3 times on this wall. Vote for him.
He learned it from the panda bears. What do you expect?
Yeah, Nixon spent this much money on prostitutes. That's true, though, probably.
I do love a poster of Nixon shat 3 times on this wall, though.
I want that. Vote for him.
Vote for Nixon. He shat 3 times on this wall.
Imagine, like, finding... You know how they find all those Pompeian, like, mummies or whatever? Sure. Of their last moments.
It's like the guy jerking off. Like, I've seen that one.
Turns out he wasn't. Sorry.
He wasn't?
No, he wasn't jerking off.
Don't ruin the dream for me.
He was jerking off.
Okay, thank you.
And that man was Nixon.
Yeah.
But I keep thinking how funny it would be to be like...
There's nothing that feels better as a good jerk after a triple shit. On a fine wall.
He always said that.
Yeah. That's what
always.
My father used to tell me. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Secundus Nixon. Okay.
Secundus Nixon.
Secundus Nixon. My father shat more than any other man shat. So another favorite of mine. Yep. You good?
I'm gonna text you. Just the name Secundus Nixon.
Don't forget it.
I'm texting it to you.
I'm starting to feel the no AC, and I feel like I'm
sorry.
gonna
Continue.
lose it.
This episode is off the rails.
I know Secundus does mean second, though. I do know that. Okay, look, you're
makes
sick.
Sense. Secondus.
If you're sick, it's gonna be off the rails. I'm fine.
I like how you're more off the rails than I am on this episode, and I'm the one that's ill.
I'm arguably also ill in other ways. All right.
That's standard though. That's every week.
Secundus Nixon shat 5 anyway. So there was this one. Sometimes people will get on in fights. So someone would be like, so and so sucks dick, and then someone else would be like, I do
Right.
not. You
It's
do.
like just Drake and Kendrick. It's a rap battle. It's beef.
But like way more about sex. So this one was really funny to me because somebody wrote, Successus the weaver is in love with the slave of the innkeeper, whose name is Iris. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about him at all, but he asks that she take pity on him. And then I think he responded by saying, yeah, it's like this, you like her, but she just feels bad for you.
It's bad for you. Yeah.
And he, assuming it was him, responded and said, you're so jealous, you're bursting. Don't tear down someone more handsome, a guy who could beat you up and is good looking.
Yeah. So, if you're bursting, there's a wall I know that you can go
burst onto. If you're bursting, there's a volcano that's about to kill all of us.
Was he beefing with Secundus Nixon?
Secundus Nixon is like, Iris is mine. Iris the slave. Ooh. So there was also an inscription that was like, by the way, for the best sex worker in town, here's the address. And they think that it was her who she was like, yeah, getting business.
I'm like, that's good marketing. Yeah.
She's like, here's where I live.
Her address. Where is it specifically? Can we put it into Google Maps?
It's literally Pompeii, and you have to dig through. Yeah. So this lady probably died. She said her name was Novelia Primigenia of Nuceria, whose great beauty and services were in high demand. Here's another one that I love, okay? Just on the wall, somebody just carved a big penis.
Love it.
And wrote handle with care underneath it.
That is legitimately awesome.
Right? It's excellent.
That's great. I love that.
It was massive, too. It was like, anyway.
Listen, if there's kids that are listening and like you got in trouble because you spray painted a dick or drew one on someone's yearbook, if like, your teacher gets mad, it'd just be like, hey, have you heard of Pompeii? Guess what? Yeah. I'm actually teaching kids about history. You're welcome. Dicks. I'm coming for your job. That's what I'm doing by drawing all these dicks with everything. So much like that giant dick, handle me with care. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
I don't have behavioral problems at all. I just I'm like the ancient Romans. So there was a lot. There was a lot from Pompeii that is just actually way too bad to say for this podcast.
Okay.
Violent, sexual, terrifying.
Oh, like not funny anymore.
Not funny, like, more like rape threats upsetting. And stuff like that. Where it's like,
no, we don't
and
like that.
Detailed. And it's like gross.
No.
Wow, we never change. People are horrible.
So we're not going to get into the rapey murder.
No.
Sexual assault stuff.
Outside of Greek and Roman, of course, there's a ton of graffiti, but I had a hard time finding specific translations for it, and I found a really cool article that did show some, and a lot of these weren't prioritized by European translators because they were like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't even look like Roman.
Yeah. This is a fake language.
No, but for real, they were like, why is it sloppy? Because Rome was all nice, and so they were like kind of couldn't see past all the like quote unquote scribbles, and so for like hundreds of years, these Arabic graffiti weren't translated. One of them was kind of cool. It was like ancient North Arabian graffiti at Palmyra, which is in modern day Syria, and it was written over 1,000 years ago, and it says, "This is an inscription that I wrote with my own hand. My hand will wear out, but the inscription will remain." Which I thought was a really nice like way to encapsulate exactly why we do this. Like, highly aware of our own mortality.
Poetic. Yeah.
Well, almost like accepting too. It's like a weird way to say goodbye. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
This is what I can leave.
No,
that's about it. Yeah,
I love it.
And other than that, dick. A lot of dick drawings. A lot of
also beautiful
arguments. But have you ever been to the Roman baths in England, anywhere in England?
I don't believe I have.
There's a bunch of those you'd remember. They make you drink the bath water.
Oh, yeah. Gamer Girl bathwater, famously. That was in the ancient Roman one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have. I don't remember if I did.
There's a lot of those like fights there. Like they would carve onto like coins and tablets and like insult each other and throw that in the baths and like do curses on each other. So you could go and you could see like these curse tablets that'd be like, so and so, I saw so and so doing this to so and so in this bath, and I hope he dies. Like, stuff like that, where it's like, I hope this god, it just rips this person apart for doing this.
This is why there's so much. I mean, particularly in Middle Eastern, North African, like the Mina cultures is like, the
Yeah.
evil eye, and then like the burning of the rue and all these things of being like, there are bad spirits because people are
Yeah.
literally writing death threat messages on
Right.
tablets in like bathhouses against me. I got to protect myself against this shit. Put
Right.
this pepper on my door or whatever, or the evil eye from
Cool.
here from protection. Like there's all these different things that people do.
If it
It's
makes
like your only way
sense.
of battling it.
It's like those one of my Wiccan friends has the things you carve above the kind of carving. You carve these symbols above the door to keep out like curses and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's all over the place. I think it's like our only way of being like, someone just cursed me. I got to do something just in case. Besides all these like Eurocentric ones, like I was saying that there's some pre-Islamic Arabic writing that they found maybe about 200 years ago by an English guy, and he was like, I don't understand this. It's in like scribbly writing. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And he just kind of put it in he put it in the back of like some
the British Museum,
probably some in his house. You know what? It was probably his house. He was like unwrapping a mummy and like eating it while like pushing this stone away into the back of his house.
It's in the garage refrigerator. That's where he put it right now. It wasn't important enough to be in the main fridge.
Dude, that's how I knew somebody had money, is if they had a garage freezer. It's like, dang, there's popsicles out there. I like this place better than my house.
Yeah.
So these weren't prioritized because European translators didn't classify them as good because they looked a lot less organized and perfect. So these were written in Safavidic text. So they found these in modern day Jordan. And they're these just rocks like on the side of the roads and stuff up this big mountain and mountain and they bring some of them back and no one translates them until like I want to say the 60s.
They're like, we'll get around to it eventually.
Because they were like, I don't know what this language is, and turns out it's like, just an
Bob,
ancient...
you can do it. He's just like, I'm not really organized.
I can't do this. Let's go read more Roman stuff. So they went untranslated for a while, but eventually they were translated. And of course, they were awesome graffiti. It was awesome graffiti. And it ended up being, there was this linguist named Ahmad al-Jalad, who weirdly enough is from Salt Lake.
Always comes back to Salt Lake.
I guess.
Always Utah with you, Hannah.
Look.
Moving on.
So he was the linguist, and he started translating these rocks and realizing that they were just, he could totally understand them. They were just an older form of Arabic, and it was pre-Islamic, which was groundbreaking because Islam definitely was a lot like Christianity, where it was like, get rid of all the old. We're not talking about it. Muhammad, pre-Muhammad it's hard to find really any written account of what life was like. Also because they were all very nomadic. There was a lot of nomadic tribes and situations. And he starts translating these because there's so many of them. He goes out into the desert with some people and he's like, there's so many of these. He ended up finding more graffiti than anywhere in Pompeii, than anywhere in Herculaneum, anywhere in Greece. Like it was like he mentioned, he's like, yeah, I can't even believe this. I just walk out here and there they are. You don't have to dig. You don't have to That's
lame. You don't even have to dig? That doesn't sound as fun.
It's not, but like...
It's convenient though, yes.
It's nice. He's like, oh wow, dope. There's hundreds of these stones. And I'm going to send you... So this one is called...
This looks like a empanada or something.
It does. It says, by Akraban, son of Kasit, son of Saad, the beautiful woman playing the reed pipes. And so it's pretty much just like
that image that's really famous. I don't know where it's from.
Cool.
South American or Central America. I don't know where it's from. That seemed, there's like a variation on that, and I completely don't remember where it's from.
Oh,
it's like somebody with this big hair
with the yeah.
Am I making that up?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. A bunch of like hippies wear it on shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
So they weren't perfectly straight letters, obviously. They were a little bit different. And
this is Arabic? This is ancient Arabic?
That's ancient Arabic.
What the shit?
Isn't that crazy? Well, here's the thing.
Weird.
It they call it what's it called? Cool. What's it called? Safavidic. So it's a form of ancient Arabic.
Sephardic, yeah. Okay.
It's a different language, but it's very similar. So
cool.
Al-Jalad starts reading these, and he realizes that a lot of them are written backwards. and kind of like there was a bunch of like
weird.
messing around. Like one of them was written in a circle format, like following a sentence in a circle, and some were written forward and the next line was backwards and the next line was forward. And it was like these weird little poems and like playing with the verses and stuff. And once they figured that out, they were like, oh, dope, these are full on like poems. So they're early traces of the lives of these nomadic tribes that otherwise wouldn't have like written things down, or if they did, it would have been destroyed. What the world looked like before Muhammad and the spread of Islam. They would pray to the goddess, whoever that was. They still don't know. So they would have these prayers on these rocks to the goddess, wishing for more rain. One of them was just like, bro, I hate my job. I hate camels.
Yeah.
He was the camel herder, and he was like, there's literally nothing for these camels to eat. I hate everything.
I don't want to look at camels anymore.
There was one that was like, I'm so sad my son got kidnapped. Like,
that's a bummer.
Oh, really a huge bummer. One guy wrote about how frustrated he was with his job. Another one just listed his genealogy, which I was like, that's what I would do.
That sounds like you. I was going to say, yeah, that's yours.
Be like, here's where I come from. And then many complained about how much they hated the Romans.
Is this a Persian tribe?
You know what? It might be. No, the Romans ruined everybody's lives. So all those Romans that were like pooping 5 times on a wall were also terrorizing these poor nomadic.
Thanks, Secundus Nixon.
I hate Secundus Nixon.
Nixon.
And here's the thing. I wanted to find a bunch of them, but I really couldn't locate very many of the actual translations into English, just like descriptions of them. But a lot of them were really cool. Like,
are they written? The translations are written, not the translations, the transcriptions are all written in Arabic?
Arabic, yeah. It's. Okay. Can you read Arabic?
No, I cannot. Okay. But we have listeners of this podcast.
We should.
So I was going to say, if anybody can read Arabic,
and there's way more to this tab that's like a really cool story. So maybe I'll go back to it at some point. But I thought it was important to actually like not just talk about Greek and Roman stuff because they get all the attention.
I think it's awesome.
We're still, I mean, if anybody works in these fields of the linguistics, like ancient linguistics, like I would love to hear about more non-Eurocentric linguistic stuff, like, or findings, you know, like this is fascinating, especially pre-Islamic, because like that's like you get to see this little slice of life of like this bored camel herder praying to some goddess.
I want to know who this dude's
yeah, like I could just see him sitting there being like, oh, I'm so bored, I'm so sick of this, I gotta, and like the urge, like being so annoyed with something that you have to carve it onto a rock is so relatable to me. Like, I
agree.
I would absolutely do that if I were stuck somewhere I didn't want to be. I would find a rock and I'd carve a bunch I hated in it. We're the same. We've been the same this whole time.
I agree.
And I think that's beautiful. And
I think so too.
But it bums me out because there just isn't very much work going into finding translations for these. So, but it's getting better.
Are these in the article that you
yes, I will link
as your main source? Okay.
I have 2 articles.
So we'll link to these articles in the show notes.
Yeah.
And if you're a listener who can read any Arabic or know somebody who can read Arabic and you're interested in sort of going down that rabbit hole and want to write us an email about it, that would be really cool. We'd love to share it with others.
Yeah. And if I had more time, I definitely could follow this trail down to like figure out if there's an English translation, a really good English translation.
Yeah.
But I only found descriptions. So like this guy was talking about this and it's like, I want to hear it in their words as close as we can get, you know? Anyway, Ahmed Al-Jalid is awesome. I love what he's doing. He's a linguistics professor.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, it's awesome. But maybe I'll come back to this. Maybe not. Maybe I'll die.
Okay. Maybe you'll write a message with your hand and the message will stay despite your hand no longer existing. Or whatever.
I'm just going to write, I hate condos.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Tab. That was wonderful. I loved it. It's so interesting to see that. I didn't even think about pre-Islamic, Middle East in terms of the writing being so different and all that.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So how do you want to destroy our tabs this week?
How about a British dude just chucking a rock into the back of a building?
You got it.
No.
You don't want to do that? Okay.
No, what should we do? Something with like, destroying a condominium.
Okay. Blowing it up, an explosion. Yeah. Okay.
Blowing up.
Or I think it should be an unfinished target.
Sorry. Yeah, blowing up an unfinished target.
Okay, a
I don't
husk.
know how that's gonna work. Just an explosion with a bunch of shrapnel.
Explosion, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and count us down?
3, 2. I don't even have my tab open. Hold on. I was just counting for no reason. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Destroyed. Close.
Okay, moving on to listener emails. Email number 1 is from Sioki from Jakarta, Indonesia. Very exciting.
Dope.
Dear Kava and Hannah of 500 Open Tabs, the tab I'd like to share with you is not an article, nor is it a video.
Oh.
This tab is already several years old and came up when I went through my first, quote, accidentally bookmarked on my phone browser during my Eid holiday. And I thought this one is too wholesome to be accidental. The full tab title is Mina-san Konnichiwa. It's me, Tofu-chan. Help me get 1 million pats. Or as the domain hinted, 1 million pats.
.com.
Let me send
I want
you
to
the
go
link.
to this. I have it right here.
Oh, you have it already? You found it?
It's
I
in
guess you
the
can look in the show
email.
notes. Yes.
1 million pats. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Whoa. That's way more than 1 million pats. It's like just petting a dog.
Yeah.
You just hit this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you like click on
really
it. It's
satisfying,
like a
actually.
Shiba Inu. Is that what it's called?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying to do this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's petting him. Oh, he's happy.
This is very relaxing.
I actually really like this.
Me too. Aside from the header and footer, there's only a picture of a Shiba Inu named Tofu looking to the upper left of your browser with a tally count of I've had X number of pats. Magical stuff will happen if you drag your mouse or hand from the left to the right side inside the picture's frame. It's very wholesome for my standards. There's also a wobble tab, which reminds me of a Facebook feature that turns your 2D pictures into 3D. Thanks for reading my email. I tried to write English that won't make Google autocorrect angry and seems like it doesn't. Best regards, Sioki. Thank you, Sioki. Your English was beautiful.
That's the thing. People are like, forgive my English. I'm like, this is immaculate.
This is
it's
great.
better than anything. If you could see my tab notes, you'd be like, this person never went to school.
You did a great job, and you deserve 1 million pats as well for your English in your email. This is really insanely.
You still doing it?
I'm glad that this is at the end of the episode, because otherwise the whole episode would have been like pat 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 pat. Is really really fun to do. This is why am I obsessed with this? This is, oh my god, the number goes up every time I need to stop. All right, I'm closing the window.
Know. Thank you. Sorry, thank you, Sioki.
Sioki, yeah.
That was awesome. It was a great. You know what that reminds me of is the old internet.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, here's a page it exists for the sake of existing. And it's wholesome.
It's fun. It used to be a lot more innocent.
It did. I mean, at least on the surface. Anyway, this one is from Allie in Virginia, and it's titled Olympics Edition. Hi, Hannah and Kaveh. I'm not usually a tabber. I'm actually the opposite. I have a compulsive need to close all my tabs every day. But I'm a fan of your tabs, and I went down a rabbit hole recently that I thought you might enjoy. I was watching the U.S. women's gymnastics trials, because women's gymnastics is objectively the best summer Olympic sport. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I was having a discussion with Sarah about this the other day.
Really?
That's also my vote, actually.
Interesting.
Like, women's gymnastics is probably some of the craziest physical shit that you'll see a body. It's like running, of course, as fast as that's crazy, but just like the contortions and the flips and I'm like, that to me feels like the apex of the body. How does a body even do this?
Right. Yeah. And the idea that if I had worked on it enough, mine could do that. That's wild to me.
It's wild to me. Yeah. I agree, actually.
I kind of agree too. I have a friend who's a contortionist, and oh my gosh, watching her do anything makes my bones kind of hurt, because she's just like bending her. Anyway, gymnastics, contortionism, it's crazy. Okay, and they were interspersing it with coverage of track and field. I saw something about an event called steeplechase, which I knew nothing about.
Steeplechase, okay.
So I pulled up the Wikipedia page. Deepest apologies to any track and field people I offend with this explanation. Steeplechase is basically hurdling, but bigger, longer, and wetter. I said what I said.
Uh-oh.
Instead of individuals individual hurdles that can be knocked over, there's a long, sturdy plank that everybody jumps. There are 5 jumps placed at various spots around the track. Most of them lead to totally normal solid ground, but once per lap, you go off-roading for a hot second to do a jump that lands you in a ditch full of water. You run several more laps like this, presumably with wet shoes, and the fastest person wins. That's not the interesting part, though. The interesting part is why it's called steeplechase. It actually originated in Ireland as a horse race. People on horseback would start at the church steeple in one town and race to the steeple of the next town. Since the church steeple was usually the tallest building in a town, it was an ideal landmark to spot from a few miles away. How did this start with horses and not... Now there's no horses. Okay, we'll see. Since the riders wanted to take the shortest possible route, they would cut through fields, hop fences, and jump over streams. The modern steeplechase pays homage to these obstacles with fence-like hurdles and the water jump. I impressed some friends with this knowledge, and I hope you can too, because that's what learning is all about, impressing your friends. Sincerely, Allie in Virginia. Thanks, Allie.
That sounds like there was an old jetpack dishwasher who was winning all these kinds of races.
Yeah.
Jetpack with no T, of course.
Jetpack dishwater? Washer?
Dishwasher.
Dishwater. That's his nemesis.
He's falling into dishwater every time. That's why he's like, it's dirty. I'm covered in grease.
Oh.
What was that noise?
I don't know. My brother-in-law's Alexa just beeped at me.
It just, I guess that's our cue to start wrapping this out. If you have an email that you would like to send us, please do. It's 500opentabs@gmail.com. That's the number 500. Let us know about something fun that you've learned. Give us a short blurb, something fun that you learned from it. Tell us where you're from, and of course the link to the article. Additionally, we would love to get more audio voice tab. Bleh.
Oh yeah.
What's the word I'm thinking of? Voice memos.
Memos, yeah.
Yeah. Try and keep them under a minute. Same thing. We love to hear your voices and to share it with our audience. That's that part of it. What else we want to tell them?
Discord. Come to the Discord. It's a party over there. We're trying to get to 500 Discord people. And the 500th is going to have us, I don't know, we'll have something to do.
We haven't even discussed it yet, but we just said when it gets to 500, it'll be something.
We're going to do something interesting. You're going to watch me clean my room.
Yeah. Additionally, we're on YouTube. If you did not know to watch this, you can. We're looking for more subscribers on that as well.
Yeah.
The Patreon is still going.
Oh yeah. There's going to be bonus parts of this episode on the Patreon. So
you've been good about this. You've been uploading more and more exclusive clips.
Yes.
Stuff that got cut for good reason.
Good reason.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of fun for the lore.
Yeah, exactly. Additionally, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 500 Open Tabs.
Yep.
Anything else? But I think that's it with the show. 500 Open Roads, of course, is our Google map.
I updated that. It's all updated.
I noticed the other night when I was passed out, and I just kept being like, bing, bing, bing.
Oh,
like,
you got notification.
What is Hannah doing? I'm so tired. I have COVID. No, but thank you for doing it.
Sorry, I didn't think of you.
It's fine. I didn't even respond.
That was sarcastic. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
But yeah, sometimes I do things that are productive.
Good
sometimes
job.
I don't. Thanks.
We appreciate it.
Thanks everybody. Go carve something into a rock.
Thank you to Alyssa as always.
Oh yeah, thanks Alyssa. And if you're mad at your friend, tell them that you hope their hemorrhoids hurt forever.
Yeah. And Secundus Nixon. I think I want that to be my new sign up. Keep it Secundus Nixon.
Keep it Secundus Nixon. Somehow Nixon makes his way into every episode.
Secundus. Yeah, keep it Secundus Nixon, everybody.
Yep.
But also, of course, keep it Josie.
Keep it Josie. And we'll talk to you next time on episode 30.
Bye.
Bye.